standard form. Your least helpful form of linear equation. We'll spend 2 days on it because it's a little confusing. Standard form is a linear equation in 2 variables, so we're still just talking about x and y, where x has a power of 1. You're going to have 3 coefficients. The number in front of the x we label as a. That has to be a whole number. When I say whole number, I mean a positive whole number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc., etc. The number that's in front of the y has to be an integer. Can someone explain to me what an integer is? Finn?
It's a whole number, but it can also be negative.
Right, positive or negative. Whole number, or I suppose 0. And then c can also be an integer. So you're going to have your x and y on the same side. The numbers in front of x and y need to be whole numbers. The one that's in front of x has to be positive. And then the entire equation has to be equal to a positive or negative whole number. And a and b can't be 0. So, like I said, least helpful, but you will see linear equations written like this quite a bit, especially for word problems. This is a very helpful form to write them in. So that's pretty much the only thing we're going to use them for super consistently is, I guess, finding x and y intercepts and word problems. So what could I do to get 3x over to the other side? Tell your neighbor. I heard it. You should subtract it. Minus 3x on both sides. Please be fair. Yes, Safik?
But if we subtract it, it becomes negative.
Yeah, it does. We'll take care of that in a second. You have a good point. So you could do this other ways. For the sake of this problem, I'm going to do it this way. So let's rewrite it now. Negative 3x plus y is equal to negative 6. Okay, so Safik, what's the problem with this right now? Where can I not have a negative?
In B.
Right, the number in front of the x has to be positive. We can do whatever we want to equations as long as we do the same thing to both sides. I could multiply both sides of this equation by something to get rid of the negative. Please talk to your neighbor about what you could do. You can multiply the entire equation by negative 1. When I do that, I'm keeping the sides equal still. So that's allowed because I'm multiplying both sides by the same thing. So I'm going to rewrite it now. Negative 1 times negative 3 would give me positive 3x. Negative 1 times y, that's negative 1y. And then negative 1 times negative 6 is positive 6. So you're just distributing that negative 1 to everything you see in sight. You could also write that as 3x minus y equals 6. This is in standard form.
Well, what about this?
We're talking about standard form. Fraction, bad. Decimal, bad. We need positive or negative whole numbers in front of all 3 terms. So for this one, let's go ahead and get x and y on the same side. You could move the y or the x. I'm going to choose to move the x just because I'm going to have to end up multiplying by something in the end anyways, because I can't keep that as a fraction. So if I want to move the positive 1/3, how do I do it, Lauren?
You multiply by, or sorry, subtract by.
Yeah. Because if I'm trying to do it, move it to the other side, I have to do the opposite. It's positive, so subtract it. So when I do that, that one will go away. And let's rewrite it. Negative 1/3 x plus y is equal to 1. So close, yet it's currently not okay, because I have a fraction.
And connect.
Typically, it's going to be best to multiply by something to the whole equation to either get rid of a fraction or get rid of a negative. Please talk to your neighbor and tell him what you could do here. Elizabeth, help me.
Multiply by negative 3 over 1.
Oh, yeah, that works. I'm just going to say negative 3. But if you want, you could put this. It means the same thing, right? Multiplying by negative 3. So when I do that, we distribute the negative 3 to all 3. Negative 3 times negative 1/3 would just give me positive 1. Negative 3 times y is negative 3y. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. That's in standard form. X has a positive whole number. The other two have integers. That looks good. Let's see. I might move the 18.
Oh, yeah. That's what I did.
For this example, the first thing we need to do is get the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. Currently, that's the only way you know how to write an equation of a line from a graph. And so I would find the slope, take 2 points. Let's see, change in y is 2, change in x is 1, but it's nice, negative, right?
No, it's not nice.
So it's negative 2 over 1, which is just negative 2. So if you get your slope, you got one piece of the equation, but you need a y-intercept. What's the problem with this right now? If you look at this graph, Bella, what's the problem? Oh no. But you're smart individuals, so you could problem solve. You could do one of two things whenever you're ready. You could extend the graph and figure out where it would hit the y-axis. You could also plug in your slope, plug in a point, and solve for b. That's what I'm going to do, just because sometimes you're really, really, really not going to be able to figure it out by extending the graph. And so I want you to make sure you understand what the other way is you could do here. So the same way we've done before, plug in a point and your slope. I'm going to choose this point because it's positive. My x is 2, my y is 4. Some of you guys, when I checked your desk yesterday, you got the slope right, but you're not solving for the y-intercept correctly, and I think it's just small mistakes. Or you're switching around your x and y. Be careful. So if you add 4, you get 8 is equal to b. Do you guys agree?
Yes.
Now we can write the equation in slope-intercept form. So it would be y is equal to negative 2x plus 8. And you just have to rearrange it to get it in standard form. This one is actually really nice. Just add 2x. And you say that 2x plus y is equal to 8. Positive whole number, integer, integer. We good. Flip it over, please. Oh, whoops. Seven on both sides. When I do that, I get 9x plus 7y is equal to negative 3.
Why is this standard? It's annoying.
We are told that we have the point 3, negative 1, that's x and y. You have an equation, you're solving for a. So where it says x and y, put your point. A times 3 plus 4 times y, which is -1, is equal to 2. You need to solve for a. So we're going to simplify that. 3a minus 4 is equal to 2. Solve and you get 2. Am I done? Nope. Read the question. It says write the completed equation. So it's 2x plus 4y is equal to 2. That is almost a y.